welcome back to my channel Soma by Nitika. My name is Nitika Talwar, a licensed acupressure practitioner, trainer and your relationship coach. Well, today I'm here to discuss about relationships, delve deeper into making deep connections and especially navigating the ups and downs of love. Have you ever felt like you have been putting so much efforts in your relationship, you have been doing a lot in your relationship, but your partner is not able to reciprocate to them? Your partner is not able to fulfill your emotional needs even halfway. आप अपने relationship में इतने efforts डाल रहे हो, आप अपने relationship में बहुत कुछ कर रहे हो, जो आप करना चाहते हो सब, आप अपनी तरफ से एक relationship goal के लिए हर एक चीज कर रहे हो, but आपका partner आपके लिए इमोशनली अवेलेबल ही नहीं है, बिल्कुल ही एक ऐसी स्टेट पे है जिसको हम बहुत कॉमनली इमोशनली अनअवेलेबल पार्टनर बोलते हैं. नाउ today in this video we'll discover 5 signs that your partner is emotionally unavailable, and I'll also share some practical strategies to help you cope up with them without destroying your peace and your relationship. Sign number 1: avoids deep conversations. That simply means whenever you want to talk to them, whenever you share about your feelings, they completely avoid being in that conversation. जब भी आप अपने मन की बात, आप अपने विचारों को, अपनी फीलिंग्स को उनके साथ शेयर करना चाहते हैं, वो सिंपली उसे अवॉइड कर देते हैं, वो उस बारे में बात ही नहीं करना चाहते और सिंपली दे जस्ट गेट अप and they go somewhere else. They just move away from you whenever you try to build up a conversation like that in which they might feel very uncomfortable. Very common example, whenever you're talking about your own relationship, कि हमारा relationship कैसा चल रहा है, how your relationship is going on, how you guys are feeling together, you ask them something or you express something, they either start giving very vague answers, they either try to change the subject, बात को बदलने की कोशिश करते हैं, इधर उधर के जवाब देते हैं या simply टॉपिक को shut off, बंद करने के लिए कहते हैं. Now the important question is, why does this happen? Now this happens either because of some past emotional baggage or it's a very common sign of vulnerability. Now, how to handle it? First thing, start small. Don't bring up big topics, don't bring up complicated topics in front of them in the first go. थोड़ा सा चीज़ों को धीरे लेकर जाइए, थोड़ा सा चीज़ों को आराम आराम से लेकर जाइए. Don't start your conversation with a very big thing or a very big topic or a very sensitive feeling in which you might get hurt, and at the same time it will only create more chaos. So it is better to start small. Start expressing yourself in a much easier manner for them to understand. Another thing, share your feelings calmly. I feel disconnected. You don't talk to me much. Is there something I can help with? बहुत दिनों से बात नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. ऐसा क्या हो गया है हमारे बीच में जो हम बात नहीं कर पाते? आपको मेरी क्या बात बुरी लगती है? Why don't you listen to me? You know, things like that. Be calm with your feelings. एकदम से चढ़ना नहीं है. You need to be more calm. Another thing is give them more space. I mean, give them time and space to process, because they have been trying to avoid this topic, because they usually avoid this topic. They avoid talking about feelings or even listening about them. So give them some time to process all of this. You know, when people are not really facing such situations, they need time to process. Time in a manner that whenever they listen to a lot of things that they have been avoiding, they want some time to process how to respond to them. Now, you might take this as if they are ignoring, but in their brain, they are really thinking about कि मैं ऐसा क्या बोल दूँ या मैं ऐसे कैसे respond करूँ कि सामने वाले को बुरा भी ना लगे. So we need to be very careful. We need to give the other person some time कि शायद उसने आज सुन तो लिया. So maybe उनको जब ठीक लगेगा वो उस चीज पे रिस्पॉन्ड भी करेंगे. In spite of all of these factors, even if the person continues, avoiding the conversation, avoids being in deep conversations with you, it is also the time to reassess your relationship and your partner. The second sign is overly self-centered. Now, this simply means, I am not saying do not love yourself, do not think about your own self. But imagine you had a very stressful day. बहुत ज़्यादा थकावट वाला दिन है. Both of you are coming from your work. And instead of listening to each other, they completely ignore what is going on in your life, how your work went, how your day went, how's your mood. All they talk about or they ever want to talk about is just their own selves. मैं कैसा लग रहा हूँ, मेरे को क्या पसंद है, मैं क्या चाहता हूँ, मैं कितना थक गया हूँ. Each and everything that is the talk is just about their own self. And even they want you to speak and talk only about themselves. Now, why this happens? See, emotional unavailability often comes from a very self-protective mindset. They keep their own needs rather than yours. Simply, they keep their own needs in any situation and often in every situation. So, कुछ भी हो जाए वो एक सेल्फ प्रोटेक्टिव माइंडसेट में आ जाते हैं कि उनकी खुद की ईगो को उनको ही प्रोटेक्ट करना है और कोई भी बात आप बोलेंगे तो वो उसमें अपने आप के बारे में ही जिक्र करेंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आज आपका मूड अगर आप एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं कि मेरा दिन बहुत ज़्यादा थकावट रही मुझे आज सारे दिन में, सो दे विल सिंपली से अरे प्लीज़ डोंट टेल मी दिस, और इवन इफ दे डोंट स्पीक लाइक दैट दे विल से वो सही बात है बट पता है मेरा दिन इतना ज़्यादा थकावट वाला था और इनफैक्ट ये हुआ मेरे साथ. सो सिंपली यू फील कि मैं शायद अपनी बात बता रही थी बट सब बातें अब मेरी खत्म होकर इन्हीं पे चली गई. बहुत कॉमनली, very commonly, you can even see that whenever there is an argument, they'll very cleverly put all of the blames on you. Now this is a very toxic trait, but this starts from here. Now the best thing that you can do in such situation is start using I statements. Rather than using we, start using more of I statements. If the other person is in a very self-protective mindset, it is very important for you at the same time to have that mindset so that the other person can reciprocate, process things better. Use I statements. I think this is not the right way. I think that maybe whatever you are speaking, I am not liking it. I think you should also listen to me more. Not us, not we, not you. I. Also notice patterns. Even after doing things like this, even after giving them the time to explain, to talk about themselves, they are still not listening to you and this has become a pattern. It is very important to realize that this relationship lacks balance and external help is definitely required. Now when I say external help, what exactly do I mean? I mean you should really connect with a relationship therapist, a relationship coach, or a couple therapist. Sign number 3, which also indicates, now the previous signs indicated more of a negative trait in a person, but this particular sign might indicate that the person is in a lot of, sympathetic manner. The next sign is simply they struggle to express their emotions. To understand this better, whenever you ask them, how are you feeling? How is your mood? It's always, I'm fine. Please don't talk to me about my mood. आप परेशान हो? तुम परेशान हो? कुछ ठीक है? कुछ खराब है? अरे सब ठीक है. Please don't ask me these type of questions यार. सब कुछ बढ़िया है. मुझसे ये सब सवाल मत पूछा करो. I am all good. They are not really happy. They are not really comfortable sharing their own moods, their own feelings, their own thoughts. Or very clearly, they always downplay their emotions even when it's very clear that they are very upset. अरे नहीं कुछ नहीं हुआ यार, सब ठीक है. अरे कुछ नहीं. और शक्ल से दिख रहा है कि भैया पूरे के पूरे तुम बिगड़े पड़े हो, तुम्हारा मूड ऑफ है, you are not like this. Your partner is continuously saying, अरे you don't look like this, you don't behave like this. Especially in the cases of girls, they just suppress a lot. Now, why does this happen? It has a lot to do with your childhood. It has a lot to do with your family. So, a lot of family baggage, or you can even say when you were a child or when you were quite more younger, you must have always suppressed your emotions, or you must have felt that showing your emotional side or showing your emotions is a sign of weakness. Very simple. Crying is a weakness. Now, the best thing that you can do with such people is simply share your feelings with them and share your feelings. Start communicating with them in a very, very warm manner. Make them comfortable. अपनी बातों को भी इस तरीके से उन लोगों के सामने रखिए कि उनको भी एक comfort मिले कि yes, they also want to speak to you. They also want to share. And it is very important to make them realize that when you share something, so उतना ही अच्छा लगता है. When you share something something and the other person listens, how better, how good, how energetic, how positive you feel after that. So it is very important for you to make them realize, not just speaking, not just saying it out, but also the after effects of when you speak to someone who understands you. At the same time, it is very, very important to have a very non-judgmental mindset whenever they are speaking to you. It's not like if they're speaking about something and you start giving your opinions on that without any requirement, which will definitely not let that other person become comfortable with you, which will ultimately restrict them from opening up in front of you. Now you have to be patient with this, okay? So be patient, set the boundaries, but please remember, it's not your job to fix anyone. It's only your job to let them know about their patterns, help them, but not your job, or I think it's not even possible to change anybody completely. Next and most important, which has become a very, very common trait these days, fear of commitment. Whenever you're talking about your own relationship or even about future, there is no answer. No commitments, dodging the plans of future. Simply अगर आप बात भी करते हैं तो they walk out of the room, they don't want to speak about it, they need time. There are a lot of things which they do not want to discuss regarding future. Simply whenever you ask about it, they ignore the statement, they keep manipulating about it. They are not ready for something serious, they are not ready to make things official, or simply they say that they need more time to discover this relationship. But at the same time, they act like they are so in this relationship, they are so into it, they want you all the time, but they avoid the labels. Now, why does this happen? Hota kyun hai ye? Simply because, a person might be undergoing through a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things that they have to, set right in their life. And that is why they fear having more responsibilities or any burdensome situation like this, or any commitment that might disrupt their future or their present also. So it's just a fear of them. Now, how to handle it? See, handling it is something you have to be very careful about, because you have to be patient. You have to decide yourself whether you want to be patient with it, whether you want to give that time, whether you want to align with them, or at the same time you want to put an end to this and move out of the relationship. But in both the cases, very, very important, you need to respect their choice, you need to respect their decisions, and at the same time have some patience. But again, be very careful that you're not losing yourself in the process. Be very, very clear about your own needs. Lastly, some emotionally unavailable people either shut down completely, which is also called as stonewalling, or they completely outburst during conflicts especially. For example, whenever there's a conflict, either they walk out of the room, they completely shut down the conversation, or they lash out at you even on a very small thing, which you might think, अरे यार ये इतनी बड़ी तो बात नहीं थी, एकदम से ये चिल्ला क्यों रहा है, एकदम से इसको हो क्या गया है, ये ऐसे बिहेव क्यों कर रही है, ये रूम से बाहर क्यों चला गया, मैं तो बात कर रही थी, why is that person ignoring me on my face? Simple. Now, why does this happen? This simply happens because that person is not able to regulate their emotions. There is a lack of emotional regulation, and at the same time some unhealed emotional wounds that they might have undergone through during their past. Now, what to do? First thing is, please do not even try to reciprocate them in their own manner. जैसे इसने किया ना, इसको वैसे ही करके दिखाऊंगी, जैसे ये मुझ पे चिल्ला रहा है ना, वैसे ही मैं चिल्ला के दिखाऊंगी, या जिस तरीके से ये मुझ पे चीख रही है, जिस तरीके से इसने मुझे इग्नोर किया, ये क्या दरवाजा मार के गई है, मैं और कहीं से भाग जाऊंगा, इसको मैं फिर बताऊंगा. Please do not try to match their level, or even try to, become a more tougher person, become a more tougher, guy or a girl, and show ki, okay, how can you leave me? I'll show you what I can do. So do not even try to do that, because you both are not here for some war. It's a love. I mean, it's a very pure feeling that you guys are working upon, right? The moment you entered into this relationship was not to check who can be more better in war. जब आप इस घुसे थे ना इस relationship में, जब आपने decide किया था कि आज से मैं इस relationship में हम आ रहे हैं, आज से हम एक दूसरे को बहुत प्यार करेंगे, तो आपने ये नहीं सोचा था कि कुछ साल बाद या कुछ महीने बाद, कुछ दिनों बाद जाकर ये चेक करेंगे कि तुझ में ज्यादा गुस्सा है या मुझ में ज्यादा गुस्सा है. So please do not even put both of yourselves into this situation. Lastly, use a very de-escalating approach. Try to understand and try to be more conversational in a very calm manner with other person. I noticed you walked away at that time. You were not calm at that time. Can we talk about that? Why did that happen? I didn't like this behavior. अरे यार तुम उस समय चले गए थे रूम से. I know उस समय बहुत ज़्यादा heated situation था. Why did you do that? मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा. हम क्या उसके बारे में बात कर सकते हैं? It is much better to talk like this. Very, very better. It can save a lot of both of your emotions. But again, let me warn you with this. If this behavior continues, if this behavior becomes like a pattern, it is very, very important to take some external help, either individually or as a couple together. So here you have it, 5 signs to see if your partner is emotionally unavailable, and not just that, how you can handle it on your own, or if and where you require external help. In most of the cases, it's you that you can handle it on your own because it's your own relationship. You guys know each other better. But it is very important when things go out of hand and you really, really want to save this thing called love that I don't know how much is left. It is very, very important to consider seeking professional help, right? But one thing after all this, I want you to know and I want you to remember, it's very, very important to take care of your own emotional needs first. The most important thing is to see what exactly is your emotional need, and then whether that person is purposely not, reciprocating to your emotional needs, or is it something that is instilled in their behavior, or something that they are doing, unconsciously, or, something that they're not aware about, and maybe making them aware about it might solve a lot of problems. But first, start understanding your own emotional needs. Well, as I was speaking about professional help, in the description you can find a link to consult with me for a 101, that is 1-to-1 therapy session for a couple and even for your own self-discovery in this relationship. So any relationship issue as a couple or individually, you can come up to me. The link is in the description to connect with me for a personal 101 therapy session. Now, which of these signs or which of these patterns, behavior, examples resonated with you the most? Let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you have subscribed to my channel, and to know more of such videos, to understand relationships better, make sure you have subscribed, like this video, and turn on the bell icon so that you can get the notifications whenever the next video is up. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.